Imagine for a moment your everyday life depicted in dance, in movement. Whether you work in an office, taking care of kids, baking a cake, anything, just think for a moment. Close your eyes. Think, what would it look like on stage and performed? Or how about something as enigmatic as the dawn of man? We're going to be exploring the very artistic and rich world of dance through the Lynda Martha Dance Company. Before we meet the founder, Lynda Martha, and a dancer with the ensemble, Abby Kantor, we'll be taking a look at a very, very artistic, powerful piece called Elements. We'll take a look at that now. Now that your heart has kind of come down a little bit from all that beats, I'd like to introduce you to our two guests today. First of all, I'm Deborah Palmer with Focus, and today we're going to introduce you to two dancers. And one is a founder of a group, Lynda Martha Dance Company, and her namesake, she is Lynda Martha. Welcome to the show, Lynda.
Thank you very much.
And with her is one of her dancers. We don't say principal dancer because everyone's an ensemble dancer, a team player, is Abby Kantor, who also later in the show is going to be featured in one of the dances. I want to add that later in the show, you just came out of that beautiful piece. It's very, very powerful, extremely dramatic, but we'll be seeing something a little bit lighter even later. Welcome, and whatever made you think of starting a dance company? There is this mad mix of dance companies in Chicago. You are Chicago-based, but you perform nationally and internationally. Whatever made you think of, I think I'll start another company?
I had no idea what I was doing. At the time, I was teaching quite extensively and really building a syllabus, discovering my own kind of movement. I was being commissioned by other companies to make ballets for them. Any kind of, I refer to them all as ballets or pieces. And I thought it would help me as a choreographer to have a regular group of dancers to work with.
Well, how would you say, I mean, when people think of dance companies, we can just throw out names, and the names never end, and you know, we can go to Ravinia, we can go to the auditorium and catch a piece, which is very wonderful for Chicago. We have a very rich dance heritage here. How would you say you break away from the herd, artistically, subject matter?
Our vision for the company is that we would be a contemporary company, and that we have an ongoing commitment in our concert work to showcasing not only my work, which is less important as the years go on, my work as a choreographer, but the work of emerging choreographers and composers. We tend to look for a young artist who a year from now or 2 years from now may be working with Joffrey too. That level, that they need a place now where someone will see their work, and it's very hard to find. Funding is very difficult, as everyone knows. So to find a venue for your work is a major problem.
Well, you talk about these young up-and-comings, and I think we have one with us, one of these young artists. I know we do, Abby Kantor, and again, we'll be able to experience your artistry later. Now, how did you come to the Lynda Martha Dance Company? You actually went through the training there?
Yeah, well, I had taken it some other places, and I just wanted to try something new, and I heard about Lynda, so I tried out her dance institute. I just sticked with her, and this was when I was in high school, so it was like my junior and senior year in high school. Then I went off to college, and when I was coming home for breaks, I would just pop in, take a few classes, and then my senior year in college, I had heard about the audition, and I went to it. And that's how it all began.
Now, this is really interesting. I gotta believe, like Lynda Martha, you choreograph, you have other people who contribute to the choreography. Do the dancers ever help? Like you say, here's a role. It's almost like in Hollywood, they say, here's a line, but then they come up with a different line that feels better. Can you interact in that way?
Very much so. I think we really encourage it. Especially if it's my own work, if it's my own choreography. You have to have one person that says yay or nay, but I think input from the dancers is very important. A lot with guest choreographers, it depends. The piece that we're seeing later, Abby has a solo in this piece, which she learned, actually I had done originally.
Really?
So she's our third, and one of the choreographers that was originally set on her. So Abby's the third generation through us, and it's, especially with the solo, you talk a lot. Learning the steps is the least of your problem.
Right.
Understanding the character in this case.
And from what I understand and seeing the visuals that you're going to be seeing in a moment, there's a lot of drama. There seems to be a lot of, it's almost like opera is demanding more acting from its performers. Do you find this draws upon, and Lynda draws upon your acting abilities as well, not just to dance it, yeah?
Well, with the solo that she was talking about, for me that was very difficult because it does involve, it's making it yourself, but going beyond that. It's just being this character that you're not used to being, and I found it was very much a challenge.
Also, how does it feel to be performing a role that the founder of the company performed?
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. I mean, I just kept on trying and trying to go beyond and taking her criticisms, and you take it all in. And you just keep on going with it and you keep on building on it. It's like never perfect. There's always more you could do.
Okay, we've been teasing this piece enough. If we keep telling them soon you're going to see, I think they'll just turn this off and say enough of this. Okay, the piece we're talking about is called Businessman's Lunch. Intriguing topic, as enigmatic as trying to depict the dawn of man. But why don't you tell us a little bit about this piece before we see it? And also, I believe we're coming into the middle of it. So what is happening?
We are very much into the middle of it. And it's an office. We have George, who is the primary person. We'll call him the CEO of the office. There's Prudence. She's perfect to the point that she's crazy. There's Gloria, who's sort of the office cheerleader, and everything is fine with Gloria, and she doesn't really care. There's Eugene, who's a bit of a ditz. And he has this kind of interesting intelligence about him. He's sort of a bumbling sort of a guy. And there's Betty. And Betty, the whole piece really is about Betty. Because
Betty
she
portrayed
I know you're saying Betty. We don't get too into this. Because Betty is the only character who changes in the piece. It's basically an office. We meet all the characters. We get to know a little bit about them. Betty has a burning affection for George. And George is very ambivalent. And just before her solo, they have had a romantic moment.
Okay, don't tell us any more.
George turns around and crushes Betty, and this is why her solo happens.
Okay, because it'll be interesting to see how the viewers interpret it too. Okay, let's take a look at Businessman's Lunch. You may raise a few eyebrows too. how'd you like those front row seats? You didn't even have to get tickets, but later we'll tell you how to, okay? Abby, how did it feel doing that part now that we've seen it? And how'd your parents respond?
Well, I warned most of the family, people that I knew that was coming. I just warned them, and they were kind of laughing, and it's just like, why do you have to do this? And it's like, well, it's just part of it. And it didn't really bother me, and it didn't bother me knowing that all these people that I don't even know are seeing me in my underwear. I felt it covered me enough, so I didn't feel self-conscious about it.
Well, it's great advertising for the underwear maker. You know?
Yeah.
Now, how do you come up with an idea like that? Is that in, in the shower at 7 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you're trying to go to sleep? Where do you come up with these ideas?
Well, actually, Businessman's Lunch was not mine. It was Danny Shapiro and Joni Smith. But I think for any choreographer, you have your individual process. Yeah. But the idea is there. The idea is it's life, and it's something you have lived through, you have watched, you have experienced. And my feeling about art is it is about us. And that, be it music or drama or dance, you take life and you make it bigger, and by making it bigger, you see something, you remember something, you feel something.
Out of curiosity, because this is your day-to-day life, you do this all the time, you live it, breathe it, drink it, think it. When you're just walking down the street and you see something, do you see it in dance? A bus going by, people walking?
Sometimes, I mean, if you're, if I'm working on a piece, something, a vision can just capture you, and it might stay in your head for 2 years, and then it comes back to you when it makes sense in a piece.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I think we're really a lot more normal than people think.
Which brings me to my next question. It's really not a question of normalcy, but there's a lot of people, starting as little girls, we go and see the dance. I think we see Sleeping Beauty.
Everything is beautiful at the ballet.
Everything. Oh, that's right, chorus line. Yeah. Everything is beautiful at the ballet. But now let's ask a real dancer. What would you tell future dancers who want to become professional dancers? It looks so glamorous. What's it really like, Abby?
It's tough. It's a big commitment, that's what I would say. I mean, you're just committing yourself, and you really have to love it to put yourself through it. I mean, it's classes, rehearsal, performing, tech rehearsals. I mean, you have outside things you have to do, and it's definitely a commitment. But I would just say you have to love what you do. You just keep on taking classes, you keep on improving, and it makes the performance very worthwhile.
No,
I mean, it leads up to that, and that's what you're working so hard for.
In fact, your group, you've been around for about 10 years. You perform nationally and internationally. How's it different performing internationally? Are the audiences any different?
Very, very. And a lot depends on where you are. Our first time out of the country, we were so young. We went to the Cervantino, which is an international art festival in Mexico. We were the littlest and the youngest company in the festival. And there's a whole, you have this whole different sensibility to that country, and they're very unique, and so their response to our pieces was very different than what American audiences
That's got to
would
be
be.
so exciting. We have just a little bit of time left. You've danced nationally, internationally. Your background is so extensive. You train dancers. What's next for the Lynda Martha Dance Institute?
Okay. Well, our school is ongoing. We are at the Noise Cultural Arts Center in
Evanston.
Right. 475-1770.
Good.
Our administrators will like that. And our next major concert series in Chicago area is at the Dance Center of Columbia College on a program called Best of Chicago.
Great, but they can call that number to find out about your schedule.
Get on our mailing list and we'll tell them all about our program.
Area code 708.
The new one, yes.
The new one will be area code 708. I'd like to thank our guest, Lynda Martha of the Lynda Martha Dance Institute, and a fantastic dancer, exceptional, as we say, Abby Kantor. Thank you so much for sharing your talents and your spirit and your energy with us today. And for Focus, I'm Deborah Palmer.